This is my psychology of sport assignment. This is the roles of a group dynamics in team sports. For this, you have to do 4 factors of group dynamics and performance in a team. So factor 1 is group factors. This is formed up of four different factors in itself: forming, storming, norming, and performing. Forming at this stage, the team is working with each other to get to professional and divisional individuals as they try to work out how they operate, like in different positions. This is also the point of proceedings where leaders are coming forward in the group and making their leadership skills known in their team. An example of this was when we went to Skjern. Was when I was put into a team before we started the first activity. At that point, I wanted to know key information about my teammates, such as strengths, weaknesses of people doing the activity. The second thing is storming. At this stage is whether or not to see if they clash between leaders and members. The reason for this would be because as team members they could not trust or support the leader and believe their experience throughout is enough in this situation to go on. An example of this sometimes, like when we went to Skjern, we clashed between us, and some team members felt that they had the right to need to express their other options to other people. No regards of the right direction, right decision. The team's beliefs were really low. The second thing is norming. The conflicts are being resolved between different people in the group. They're cooperating, and the leaders are building respect through the team, and agreeing on certain goals without the team. So an example of this would be when there was more activities in Skjern. We went through the group, and the group as a relationship went up, and they started to pick up the strengths and weaknesses of all of our team. So as a team, we could give motivation to less confident people in activities they didn't feel comfortable in. For example, one of our teammates wasn't very confident in the tunnels. So as a team, we built his confidence and gave him a lot of motivation in that. The last thing for this, factor 1, is performing. So when it comes to this action comes in, the team are willing to play their specific sports and attempting to reach goals set as a team. Conflicts will highly likely basically the confliction of the team is more likely not to occur as the team believes in each other. Communication and cooperatives between the teammates will be at a healthy level because as a team they understand how each other works in specific sports. So an example of this would be when we went to Skjern. Was towards the end of our stay at the facilities. When it came to it, we all cleaned up, all swept, mopped. The communication levels between the groups improved from the start of the week as we understood each other more and was outlining what activities we could complete. The next theory I would like to use would be the Stjern's theory. So basically, this theory describes as in the ways that emotions that is underlined by the level of performance from the team, and how much it affects the team, or how much effort the team are willing to put in to reach the goals. Basically, this is based on the level of skill, ability of each performer, on the team, whether or not it can incur lack of skill, ability, which will prevent the goals from happening. So an example of this again would be when I do my father's side on a Monday. As a team, we know what skills we work around and like what ability levels and attempts we need to get through to get to the next league or win the game. So within the last weeks we have lost a couple of games. Before that we managed to use, by using this sort of theory, the more effort you put in, the more you're going to reach a goal. The team spirit went up and we progressed, and we're still progressing now. The third theory is the Riggleman effect. Basically, this theory is a group. This theory states that the number of the people in the group is increased. The level of production drops. This is increased by the statement that is basically what it's saying is the increased number of people in the group, the group coordination level will decrease as members become irresponsible and negative and get into the group. When they get into groups, so they aspire to reach, all the goals they set, they don't want to reach them. An example of this would be when we went to Skjern, when it came to search and rescue, for the activity we did before. We completed this activity when we worked together in our team, but it went split into two groups. So the group of the size of the group was working with was increased for the activity. By increasing the group for this particular specific in the team I was put with, we lacked focus, and as there was people that were our mates, we didn't coordinate and focus in the activity, as we'd rather stay unfocused and not succeed, and lack of focus of part of the group wasn't really what we wanted to do in the first start off with. So the last theory I want to talk about is social loafing. Basically, this theory states that social loafing means that members of the group do not put enough effort in when sometimes as a team undergoing certain goals or reaching them as a team. The reasons for this could be lack of motivation, lack of coordination, lack of confidence, anxiety within participants. The reason why this is influenced within a team is that they feel that they are not capable of reaching their full potential. So they could be oh yeah, we could all set a goal, and they'd be oh no, I can't reach that, I don't want to do that. Or it's mental, and then they're not mental wise, they're not focused and capable of reaching their goals, so that they're thinking all the time, and they don't want to fail, be part of the group if they're going to fail. So example of this would be, again, when I first started my five-a-side football team, the first time I met my teammates was obviously in the game. There was no practice before, no kickabout or anything, so I didn't know what skill levels everyone else was working at. So after the game, mentally, I was everywhere. So I was thinking, oh God, I could have performed better, or what was everyone else doing? I think that the first time I played was probably the worst game I've ever had, and I was thinking, should I stick with this team or should I find another team? But in the end, I decided to stay with the team, and since we've started the team, we've come from the bottom league. We're in Division 3 now, so we've learnt each other's strengths and weaknesses throughout the game, and advanced a lot quicker than we thought we would have. So that is my psychology of sports performance.